My name is Kristin Geeslin. I've been going by the Mindful Seer, but everyone is a mindful seer and can create and co-create with others through accessing their intuitive abilities. And so I've kind of put together a lot of different things that I've learned and integrated over many years into a system that I call the B.E.I.S.M Intuitive Development and Mindfulness method. And this is something that I use both in intuitive readings, I use it in coaching sessions, and it's a structure that anybody can learn and use on their own on a day-to-day basis. And I just want to thank Linda Sunshine for, addressing the whole idea of dealing with our fears. Because a lot of people do have intuitive abilities, but they're a little nervous or afraid of really going in that direction because they're not sure how that will impact or affect their lives. So I'm really all about encouraging you to feel safe exploring all the intuitive mojo that's just waiting inside of you. And what happens with a lot of women is that around the time of menopause, when we go into our crone phase, our wisdom woman, our priestess, our truly, full on goddess phase, is that our intuitive abilities expand. But at the same time, many of us find ourselves displaced from, our prior work careers. Sometimes people are leaving unhealthy or long-term marriages or relationships, and there's a lot of change and transition at that time. I've even worked with one person over, a couple of years who had a near-death experience that really blew open her psychic gifts, but was also kind of destabilizing. So what I do is help people really tap into their intuitive abilities, but also feel comfortable about managing their day-to-day lives. So now what I'm starting to say is you can go way into the woo and still get your laundry done. All right, so today I want to give you a little demonstration of how this works. When the way B.E.I.S.M came into effect is that I was doing readings with a lot of people, and it was sort of verging into theta healing and coaching. And I was like, I wish there was something that I had that would make it easier for people to remember what happens during a reading, because it can be a lot of information coming in fast. And then after the reading, people are, including me, you forget. Because during a reading, we're actually stepping out of the normal time-space continuum. And so while any reader, me or anyone else who's a psychic medium, is tapping into the great beyond, we are not registering everything that we're saying. We are an open channel perceiving and sharing that information with our client. So afterwards, we're probably, within hours going to forget what was said or what came through in that reading. And sometimes that even happens, for people that are the clients, because I've been on the client side too. And I thought, that's not so nice. I want to be able to remember and act on the information that comes through during a reading. So that's part of how this B.E.I.S.M system came to be, was I was kind of brainstorming that. And then also, I've really focused since adulthood on living a body, mind, spirit balanced life. And so the B.E.I.S.M kind of starts with those three areas, but also expands it. And so now that's what we have. We have the body. The B includes your physical body, your cash flow, and where you live. That's all the physical stuff. So that's down at the lower chakra levels. Then we have your emotions. So we're going to be going up the chakra levels as we do the letters. We have your emotions. Then we have your intellectual life. Then your spirit soul journey. And then your relationship with higher power. So when I'm doing a reading, I call this a 5-frequency wellness check. We are checking in to see what's happening at all those levels. And 9 times out of 10, when I finish up a reading, people are pretty clear on what's going on. And then they have a few questions, to ask, okay, what about this? What about that? But by the time we get through these 5 areas, most things have revealed themselves. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration of that right now. And this is a reading for the collective in this now moment. Now, of course, there's so many variations on what's happening with each one of us individually in this now moment. However, there's also a lot of things that we're sharing. We've just come through some crazy weather as a collective. We have things happening. Solar flares are going on right now. We have certain astrological transits that are affecting all of us. So there are elements of what we're experiencing that we are sharing. Okay, so that's why, a reading for the collective can have value. And particularly for those of us that are sensitive or psychic or intuitive, we are often aware of a lot of these subtle energies. And sometimes it's stressful for us because we have a challenge sorting out those larger energy flows from what's happening inside of us at a given moment. So that's when doing like a B.E.I.S.M reading for yourself, once you learn the system, can help you sort that out. So you're not being, as an empath, sensitive or intuitive, bumped around by what's not even yours to be responsible for or worry about. Okay, here we go with the B for the collective. What does Spirit want? I'm going to just open my channel a bit here. Okay, I don't leave my third eye wide open all the time because that would be too much. But now at a time like this, I'm opening up to all that is. Okay, for the benefit of everyone listening. Okay, here we go. We are getting, oh, cute. Oh, this is so funny. Okay, so I have 3 different decks. I'm getting, this says to brand. All right, so this is a message to all of us. We need to put out who we are and what we have to offer in our own unique and special way, especially now, because we've got some shifts in the astrology that can really make the most of this. This is called the White Squirrel deck. This is by James Wanless, which all of the decks I read with are, and I'm going to read the card. Represent yourself, look good, attract, and make bounty. Take a selfie. Okay, so, a lot of us are trained not to boast and not to be proud and not to, talk about ourselves favorably. But really, in this world at this time, if you have something to offer that's, is valuable, please do the things that are necessary to get it out there. Just like Leslie's giving us this platform to speak whatever it is that we have to offer. And Leslie is doing what she is good at by creating the interface for us. Okay, that's what this card is talking about. That's saying, yes, do it. Okay, now let's go to the E. Okay, the E card. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting, these little cards don't pop out all the time. Okay, so I'm getting another White Squirrel card. These cards are very clear and very directive. These are not cards that require interpretation. They are specific and concrete. Okay, which means, Spirit wants the people who are watching this. My guess is we're a certain type of person, and Spirit has clear messages for us. Trust your keen sense of touch. Okay, hands have eyes. Okay, that's exactly what I'm doing when I'm reaching in this bowl. That there is a lesson for people who are using their intuitive abilities. Trust where your hands go. Okay, hands have eyes and are highly skilled. Your hands are highly skilled. Manipulate and make magic. Okay, so that can be creative expression on so many different levels. Okay, we think of the hands, our hands are where the healing happens a lot of times. The hands are where we create, they're a symbolic representation of making magic happen in the world. When we do that, our emotions will take care of themselves. When we are focused on offering whatever it is that we have to offer, that gives us a steadying energy, okay, for our emotional well-being that is sustainable. Okay, not like, oh, I'm a little happy or a little sad. Not that. I'm talking about direct, current, sustainable wellness for our emotions, when we are tapping into our gifts, whatever they may be, whether they're intuitive, creative, hands-on, construction, art, it doesn't matter. That is an important piece of wellness for everyone, which is always something I knew all my life. That's why my master's degree is not in a psychotherapeutic area, but is in adult education with a focus in human resource development, because I knew if people could express their gifts, they would feel better. Okay, now we're going for intellectual life. Let's see what comes out here. Okay, intellectual life. We're getting provide. Okay, this is the sustain yourself deck, also from James Wanless. Okay, so this is provide, grasslands, intellectual life. Okay, so the thing with the intellect, is that it likes to be busy. And if we leave it too much free time, it can get into trouble. It can go straight to what Linda was talking about: fear, worry, anxiety. So if we're busy providing, okay, using our creative abilities in an expressive way, we're not going to, it won't be like idle hands or the devil's helper. Okay. If our brain doesn't have constructive things to do, our intellect, it can get into trouble. And that's when it goes down the path of fear, worry, and anxiety. So if you find yourself worrying about or thinking about things that are outside your control, you got to get off of that and think about what you can do to earn, okay, provide, okay, for yourself, for your family, for society. And that's the green path. Okay, then you end up in the grasslands. Okay, that's where the animals go to graze. You end up in the grasslands. So in Buddhism, we treat the intellect more like a sense. Okay, so like your eyes can want too much beauty or your mouth can want too much sugar, your intellect can want too much information. That's when we have too many meetings and we do too much research and we're, over analyzing, and that stuff is nowheresville. That just kind of clogs your head up and gives you a migraine. Okay, so we have to monitor our intellect, just like we have to pay attention to, how much sugar and carbs are going in, buying that overly expensive purse or whatever when we really don't need it. So the intellect can have some similar kinds of like over information seeking habits that we have to just kind of keep it in check a bit. Okay, now we're going to go for spirit soul. Okay, so the spirit soul, in the way this reading works, if you're a person who believes in multiple lifetimes, then you know that each lifetime has a soul journey. If you don't believe in that, we all know that sometimes, inside of us, we have joie de vivre. We have joy of life. We have esprit de corps. Okay, something inside of us feels alive and activated and engaged. That is critical. That is, that energy source is fueling your every aspect of your wellness. And so when we are lined up with our soul journey and our soul purpose of the moment, that is a natural flow. And that there's nothing better. There's no medicine on the planet that's better than when we feel connected to our source and when we feel like we're doing our life purpose mission. All right, so let's see what Spirit has for us, for the collective in that area. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so yes, interesting that fear should come out. Okay, so apparently Spirit really wants us to get the fear lessons today. Okay, because Linda was talking about it. And what does that mean? Of course, Spirit doesn't want us to be stuck in fear. Of course, Spirit wants us to face our fears. Okay. That we can't allow fear to stop us from doing our soul purpose. And sometimes, our soul purpose we knew when we were 8 or 7 or 10 or something. And then we went to middle school and we went to high school and we had life and that thing went to the back burner. And I find with a lot of the people that I work with, especially, women in transition, they have passions. They have things that they like, but they've been afraid, okay, to pursue those things for one reason or another. Mostly because somebody put beliefs in their head that they were not possible or they weren't okay. And so we really have to, and what's so interesting, okay, about this card, there's this thing, that pink thing that looks like a tentacle sea monster. What that really, really is a tiny flower that grows in the Alps. So fear is all about perspective. Okay, when we get too close to things, we can't see them for what they are. So one of the ways to deal with fear also is to take some steps back and get a different perspective on the situation. Okay, so Linda said a lot of things about how to deal with fear, so we don't need to go too far into that. But so interesting, okay, that we're lined up near each other in the presentation today. And Spirit wants us to know, don't let fear be in the driver's seat when it comes to your soul mission. Okay, and now let's go for the last card is going to be Mastermind. Okay, so Mastermind is about your relationship with higher power, okay, with all that is. And everybody likes this. Okay, Joseph Campbell did amazing work, and he did the hero's journey work, and he visited all the different, peoples all over the whole planet, anthropologists. And what it came down to was that humans want to feel engaged. We want to feel alive. We want to feel connected to all that is, no matter, what religion, what spirituality. If we connect by nature, however we connect, there's something important to us, okay, about that sense of connection, no matter how we feel it. Some people are nature people. They feel connected to all that is through nature. Some people like extant traditions. Some people do spiritual practices. Some people are doing intuitive things. It's how it happens is not nearly as important as that it happens. Some people like to practice on their own. Some people like to do their practices in groups or be in communities. So, there's lots of freedom in terms of how it happens. It's just good to be aware of how yours is doing. Is it going well for you, or could you use some more, attention in that area? All right, so let's see what Spirit wants the collective to know about this. Oh, wow. This is really beautiful. Okay, so we're getting one of the Sustain Yourself cards. Okay, this is a nature card, and it says foundation and roots. Foundation and roots. And what I will say for myself, as a long-term practitioner of a, extant tradition, Ati Yoga, Vajrayana Buddhism, the roots that I have in that have helped me through a lot of situations. They've gotten me through thick and thin. And because we truly are connected to everything. Okay. And interesting that I was saying, some people connect through nature, and then we get a nature card with roots in it. We are all connected. We are all interconnected energetically. But we also have to ground in our own personal reality and find a way to translate spirit through the way we are living our lives. So being grounded in terms of having, meditation practices or some way that we connect on the regular is very wise. Okay. It's something that can build a sort of like reservoir of resource to draw from over time.